three. Terrence Ross just did this over the manimal.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada.
What's happening, Raptorland? Sean back here as the Raps use a total team effort to easily handle Sacramento in the 99-87 win. This is the Raptors Wrap-Up. Toronto just keeps chugging along, having won 8 of their last 10 and are now 34-26, 8 games over 500 for the first time since April 2007. Just a bit of FYI, the #1 movie in the box office at that time, Disturbia, starring Shia LaBeouf. It was #1 for 3 weeks. I know, I'm shocked too. This season was considered a pleasant surprise just a few months ago, and a treat that a playoff berth was likely on the horizon. Now, with the Raptors' unbelievable play since the beginning of February, combined with the league's second easiest schedule down the stretch, and this could wind up being the Raptors' most successful season in franchise history. You have to enjoy the bit of irony in the way this game played out. The Raptors traded Rudy Gay, who was making his first return back to the city, in order to have more defined roles for the guys on the team and be able to play as a better cohesive unit. And that's the exact recipe they used to get the win in this one, as 7 different Raptors scored between 8 and 18 points. A matchup that had to be giving the Raptors nightmares was DeMarcus Cousins going up against Jonas Valanciunas. A strong showing from Cousins early could have set the tone and forced Toronto to stray away from their game plan and rotation. It actually swung the other way, changing the entire trajectory of the game. DeMarcus picked up 2 fouls in just over 6 minutes to start the game and was forced to find the bench early. The Raps were up 14-10 at the time, and from that point on, won the rest of the quarter 15-9 to lead 29-21 after the first. With Cousins only playing 6 minutes, the Raptors had their way in the paint with a balanced scoring effort from the starters, shooting 10 of 18 from the field in the quarter. Cousins returned a few minutes into the second, but after making a few plays, he was called for another foul and was not seen for the rest of the half. I can't stress enough how much of a game changer this was. The Kings were without their motor and firepower down low for all but 8 minutes of the first half. Sacramento had to lean on Reggie Evans, Derek Williams, and Jason Thompson at the 4 and 5 spots, none of which had a positive impact on the game. Despite this, the Kings actually picked up their play on both ends of the court between the period in which Cousins entered and left the game. Sacramento managed to rip off a 10-2 run, closing the gap to just 2 on the strength of 6 straight points from rookie Ben McLemore, who was his usual hit-and-miss self. The Raptors buckled down in the final 5 minutes, playing better defense and doing an overall better job on the glass to salvage their great first quarter and take a 51-44 lead into the break. Toronto got a great collective effort from their starters early in the second half as Toronto used the third quarter to pull away. The Raps were led by Terrence Ross, who had a game-high 18 points, hitting 6 of 8 3-balls, including 3 of them in the third quarter. Toronto looked to get him involved offensively, running him off of screens to get him open looks, which he was knocking down all night. Ross and the Raptors did a great job on Rudy Gay. Rudy had his way last time around, getting plenty of high percentage looks in the paint. Toronto was better prepared this time around, forcing Rudy to shoot outside jumpers which weren't falling. He shot just 5 of 13 from the field for an inefficient 15 points and a team-low -13 rating. Cousins' early foul trouble and Rudy's tough night shooting made it an uphill battle for Sacramento to battle back. Toronto was consistent offensively throughout the third, maintaining a double-digit lead. But they put up a quick 8 points in the final 90 seconds of the quarter, and just like that, Toronto's lead had swelled to 17 after 3. Like in the first, the Raptors won the quarter 29-19. If the game wasn't already in hand, both teams made sure that was the case early in the final frame. The Kings didn't score their first bucket until there was only 7 minutes remaining as the Raps started with a 6-0 run. Toronto was essentially on cruise control after that. Jonas Valanciunas scored 6 straight points as he had a nice comeback effort with 14 for the game. The Kings made an ugly game look a little bit more respectable down the stretch. Toronto's lead ballooned to 23, but plenty of garbage time saw the score settle at 99-87 for the Raptors' win. Our mismatch we discussed in the preview was at the power forward spot, and that definitely came to fruition. Jason Thompson and Derek Williams were wildly ineffective, finishing with a combined 46 minutes for an incredible 4 points and 10 rebounds. On the other side, Amir Johnson and Patrick Patterson combined for 52 minutes for 24 points on a very efficient 10 of 12 shooting with 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 assists. One negative for the Raptors we do need to touch on, though, is the jump shot of Kyle Lowry, which is becoming a major concern. Lowry shot just 38% from the field in the month of February, and after a 2 for 11 shooting night in this one, he's just 5 of his last 24 in the 2 games in the month of March. Casey may want to look at getting Kyle more rest down the stretch, as he's clearly lost the lift in his jumper the last few weeks. It's good to see Kyle still driving, though, as he knocked down 7 of 8 free throws and pitched in with 7 dimes. His style of play is conducive to always being effective in other facets, even if the jumper isn't going. In a perfect world, Casey would be able to get Lowry down to about 32 minutes a game down the stretch, as opposed to the 38 he's playing now, getting Vasquez some more minutes, and really seeing if he's one that can be trusted in the playoffs, as his game is very up and down. Kyle's going to have to play big minutes come the playoffs, so maybe getting him some of that rest now is the best route to go. DeMar was oddly quiet in this game, but it really just underlined the growth he's shown this season. Despite shooting only 4 of 13 from the field, DeRozan continued to get the line at an incredible clip, going 7 of 10 tonight, and consistently upping the ante with another 6 dimes. DeMar has increased his free throw attempts and makes every month of the season, and has done the same with his assist numbers. The attention he received is what got Terrence Ross so many open looks tonight, and if Ross continues to take advantage of those looks, the Raptors are going to be a tough out come the playoffs. If you simply looked at the box score, this game would look like your average run-of-the-mill win. But the total team effort led to pedestrian individual numbers, but an impressive performance on film. Games like these are what Dwayne Casey has been preaching all year, and it's clear the group is fully committed to this singular goal. Combine that with the fact that the Raptors' 2 stars, Lowry and DeRozan, had underwhelming games by their standards, and the fact that this was essentially a blowout, and Raptors fans have to be wondering just what kind of heights this young team can reach. And that is going to do it for this edition of the Raptors Wrap-Up. I'm going to have a breakdown of the win over the Timberwolves coming, as well as a preview going up today for tonight's matchup with the Nets. The Raptors are busy. They've got a lot of games coming up, which means I'm going to be busy too, posting a lot of episodes of the Raptors Wrap-Up. So keep an eye out for those. Follow me on Twitter at Raptors Wrap-Up, where I live tweet all the Raptors games and give my thoughts on what else is going on around the association. And as always, thanks for watching.